Good morning, children. Once again, welcome back to the chemistry online class. Hope all are doing well. In the previous class, we were discussing about chemical changes. We discussed some of the chemical reactions and we learned that all chemical reactions are chemical changes. Children, you must have heard about the ozone layer in our atmosphere. Have you heard about World Ozone Day? It is celebrated on 16th September in every year. So, today is the International Day for the preservation of the ozone layer. What is ozone layer? It acts as a protective shield in our atmosphere. Ozone protects us from the harmful ultraviolet radiation which comes from the sun. Ozone absorbs this radiation and breaks down to oxygen. Oxygen is different from ozone. Ozone acts as a natural shield against this radiation. This breaking down of ozone is a chemical change. So children, let us get back to the rusting of iron. As you know, rusting of iron is a chemical change. This is the one change that affects the iron particles and destroy them slowly. Since iron is used for making bridges, cars, ships, etc. So let us learn what is rust, how it is formed, and how can we prevent the rusting of iron. You must have seen a reddish brown layer coating present on the iron objects when they are exposed to air and water. For example, iron gates, bicycle chains, old cars, machines, bridges, etc. Have you ever noticed what is it? It is called rust. Let us discuss how rust is formed. When an iron object is exposed to air, it reacts with water which is present in the form of moisture in air. This forms a reddish brown layer on the surface of an object. This layer is known as rust. This phenomenon is called rusting of iron. Rust is formed in the presence of water and oxygen. So what is rust? When an iron particle is left out in an open area, a film of brownish substance gets deposited on its surface are called rust. So how rust is formed? The process of rust formation takes place in the presence of oxygen and water or water vapor. The process of rusting can be represented by the following equation, that is, iron plus oxygen plus water gives iron oxide. The chemical name of rust is iron oxide, that is Fe2O3. Next is how can we prevent rusting? First method is painting. One simple way to prevent rusting of iron is to apply a coat of paint so that we can prevent iron particles from coming in contact with oxygen and water or both. Next method is adding oil or grease. By applying a coat of oil or grease to the iron particles regularly, we can prevent rusting. Another method to prevent rust is galvanizing. The process of depositing a layer of zinc on iron is called galvanization. Another way is to deposit a layer of a metal like chromium or zinc on iron. The iron pipes we use in our homes to carry water are galvanized to prevent rusting. Another method for the prevention of rusting is alloying iron to stainless steel. Stainless steel is made by mixing iron with carbon and metals like chromium, nickel and manganese. It does not rust. As you know, most of the steel that we use at home is stainless steel. You know that Ships are made of iron and a part of them remains underwater. The water of the sea contains many salts. The salt water make the process of rust formation faster. Therefore, ships suffer a lot of damage from rusting in spite of being painted, so that a fraction of ship's iron has to be replaced every year. Children, do you know the rusting of iron objects is faster in coastal areas than in other areas? This is because in coastal area there is more moisture due to the presence of sea. As you know, moisture and oxygen are the necessary conditions for rusting. But in the case of desert area, due to the lack of water, the air is almost dry. So, rusting is faster in coastal areas than deserts. Moving on to the last topic of this chapter, that is crystallization. What is crystallization? Crystallization is the process by which large crystals of pure substances can be formed from its solutions. Crystallization is a physical change. Let us learn more about crystallization in detail. Children, we use common salt in day-to-day life. Do you know from where do we get salt? We get salt crystals from seawater after evaporation. And the sugar that we see at home are also the sugar crystals. Now, let's learn how to make crystals from its solution. Take a cup of water in a beaker and add a few drops of dilute sulfuric acid to it. Now, heat the water. When water starts boiling, add copper sulfate powder and slowly stir it. Continue mixing copper sulfate powder till no more powder can be dissolved. That means this has come to a saturation point. Now filter the solution and allow to cool. After some time, we can see the beautiful crystals of copper sulfate. So, we can say that the process of separating solid in crystal form from its solution is called crystallization. So, today we learned about rusting of iron and crystallization. With this, our chapter was completed. In this chapter, we learned about physical and chemical changes. Hope all of you understood this chapter. I have attached a corresponding video URL, test question, notes and textual exercise of this chapter. Attend the test question, copy the notes and download the textual exercise questions and study well. See you in the next class. Thank you, children.